guys, welcome back to my channel today. In today's video, we are going to be doing the best high-end makeup of 2020. I'm so excited. I know you guys are super excited. I am really fortunate to get to review a ton of high-end and luxury makeup throughout the year on my channel, and this is the best of the best. This is my faves, the ones that I keep coming back to and the ones that I keep hearing you guys talk about also, so I know that there are also some favorites amongst you guys. This video is also super exciting because I am collaborating with one of my good friends, Allie Glines. I feel like she's insanely talented. I'm sure you've seen her videos before, but if you haven't, she is an amazing makeup artist who is actually self-taught. You would never think that because she's so talented, and she does a lot of drugstore and high-end, but her tutorials, I feel like I've learned so much from how she applies her makeup. I just think she knows how to do it in the exact style that I like to wear mine, so I love it. I love learning from her, and I've actually been talking to her throughout the year this year, so that is one of my favorite highlights of 2020 was making a new friend in Allie. She and her husband, Tylen, I feel like I've watched them so much, and they work together on her channel, and I feel like they remind me, like how they interact with each other is how my husband and I react to each other too, and just our relationship is always fun, easygoing, so they are really sweet. But Allie is collaborating with me, and she is doing her best of high-end and luxury makeup for 2020 also. Now, we thought it would be special to do a giveaway as well, so I'm going to be doing a giveaway, as is she. It's going to be the same one, so each of us are giving away a $100 Sephora gift card for this year, just as a nice thank you to all of our subscribers for being so supportive and watching us. So all you have to do in order to qualify for the giveaway is to watch my video, subscribe, and leave a comment, as well as go subscribe to Allie and leave a comment over on her channel on her video. She'll be doing the same thing, so you do have two chances to win a $100 gift card, which is so exciting, and we will be leaving this open for about 48 hours. So make sure when you're leaving a comment on my page that you're leaving an Instagram handle or an email so I can get a hold of you if you're the winner, and I hope that you guys like our year-end roundups of our high-end makeup favorites. Good luck, guys, on this giveaway. I really hope that you win, and without further ado, let's get started on my best of high-end makeup for 2020. Okay, so let's talk about category, and I do feel like this is going to be an honorable mention in the beginning of this video. This is going to be the best makeup bag of 2020. It's totally funny that I'm actually collaborating with Allie on this video. It worked out super well because I'm actually a huge fan of her makeup bags as well. So in the beginning, I think it was like 10 months ago when her and her husband released these bags, and I'm gonna show you guys the one that I bought because it is so dirty now. I have to clean it. I've been using it so much and storing all my makeup favorites in it that it really just needs a good scrub down. So here is the makeup bag that I'm talking about, and it's such a beautiful light blue, and this was the original layout. She has since updated the layout a little bit, but this is the medium bag, and it said Allie Glines on the edge of the bag here, and it has a rose gold zipper. So this is the one that I purchased when she first launched them. Oh man, I'm almost kind of embarrassed to show you. Okay, luckily the lighting is making it look a little bit better than what it is, but I would say the medium size is my favorite because it holds all of my essentials easily. But if you want to have a bigger bag, or if you want to include hair care, skin care, and all that stuff when you're traveling, she also has larger sizes. So this is a bigger bag. It does hold two of her small ones. I'm hoping it doesn't fall on me. There we go. So these are the two small sizes, and then this is the larger bag. But this is the new layout. You can see that Allie Glines is actually in a brighter font this time, and it's rose gold as well. I actually like it a little bit better because you can see the logo so sharply, and I just think that it's so gorgeous. It matches the zipper. She did a great job with that. Even though I liked the old layout, I think this one just pops so much more. And here is the biggest size that she offers. So I'm gonna also try to open it without things falling. But It holds 1 medium and 2 smalls, if you guys can see that. So these are amazing high quality bags, and you guys know that I am a high-end gal and nothing compares to these with quality and the fact that they are so durable. They protect everything inside. So congratulations, Allie, for that. She's also released a really beautiful soft pink, and I am itching to get some. I feel like my husband's gonna say, why do you need more makeup bags? You have so many, but I will most likely buy them anyways because they're that good. So go check out her bags. This is definitely the best bag of this year, and I would argue the best of all time. Okay, now let's talk about brow products of the year. And when I do my best of 2020, I only talk about products that have been released this year, not so much products I've discovered this year. So maybe next year I'll do a little bit of both, but this is purely for releases this year. So if you do happen to see a product that I didn't mention, but I use all the time, it's most likely because it wasn't released this year. This year, I only have one brow favorite, and that's because my eyebrows are microbladed, so it really is pretty low maintenance when it comes to products. I love using Benefit's line of products, and I love the Gimme Brow, I love the brow gel, and they released a new product this year. It is the Brow Microblading Pen. This is really, really cool. I think I got it now 3.5, 4 months ago, and it still hasn't dried out, and that was my biggest concern when I got this is a pen that has ink. Is this going to be something that is going to dry out right away? But it definitely didn't dry out. This is something that I absolutely love. Right now we are in lockdown. There are no services open, so no hair, no nails, no nothing. So this pen has come in handy this year, and I'm super happy that I have it because I can keep my brows looking full and I don't have to worry about it looking too patchy or anything. There's only one primer of 2020 that blew me away, and this is actually from Tatcha. This is the Liquid Silk Canvas. I actually reviewed this one pretty early in the year actually, and this is one that I do like better than the cream-based product. Although both are great, I just like the liquid version a little bit better. It offers a little bit more of that hydration piece versus the clay cream type one. It's funny because I've talked about Tatcha on my channel before. I really, really like their primers, but their skincare to me is a little bit too fragranced for daily use. But for priming purposes, and I also rotate between my primers a lot, so I'm not always using this one, but I find myself really looking forward to using this whenever I pick it up because it does have that nice glowy capacity to it. This is the only primer that I discovered in 2020 that was new. The rest of mine have been favorites from other years, but it's definitely something to check out if you want that really nice hydrated glow prepping to the skin. Now let's talk about foundation. I do have 4 on my list here that were the best of 2020, and the first one actually is a tinted moisturizer. This is the Tarte Maracuja Tinted Hydrator, and if you guys can tell by the packaging, they definitely pressed this one wrong in the factory because this is the cap straight on and then it has that big bend in the front. So it's really interesting how it looks. I love this one for that light to medium coverage for an easy makeup day. This is one that has that hydrated look. It's a natural glow, very slight, and it's just really easy wearing. It's something that you can put on to even out your skin tone, nothing too heavy in coverage. Definitely well loved. This is my tinted moisturizer favorite of the year. Now this year, Selena Gomez released her beauty line, Rare Beauty by Selena Gomez, and one of my foundation favorites is actually from her line. This is the Rare Beauty foundation, and her foundation is one of my favorite releases of this year because it's definitely one that has that nice natural skin finish. It's a medium coverage, can be built up. It does have a doe foot applicator for easy access to the product. You don't have to worry about a pump jamming or anything. You don't need a lot of this one on your face for it to just really pop, and it just kind of evens out, gives that nice healthy skin look like I said, and I find my normal skin type really, really loves this one. Let's talk about some luxury foundation favorites. This is one that definitely tops the chart, and this is the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate foundation. You can see here just how absolutely stunning this packaging is. I think it is so beautiful. It's incredibly heavy in the hand too. Gotta be careful, you could almost hurt somebody with this. So just make sure you're not throwing it around or anything. But this is a beautiful foundation as well. So just like the other one, it's got a medium coverage that you can build up slightly. It does lean a little bit, like slightly matte, but nothing too crazy. It's not super, super matte. It's still a really natural finish on the skin. And I cannot get over the packaging, you guys. I remember having a bit of a hard time getting this product product in Canada, but as soon as it released, I was all over it. It's amazing. Now, the last luxury foundation favorite of 2020 comes from Chanel. This is the new Sublimage foundation, and I think in the US, this is going to be launching in January 2021. So I was actually able to try this a little bit earlier. It is available at Canadian retailers right now, and this is a beautiful one from Chanel too. It does have that nice glow as well, so you can tell that I'm very into the glow. Glow is my thing. And I also love medium coverage. So like I said, this is the perfect foundation for that. It also does lean slightly matte. So when I use this one, I also pair it with a hydrating primer to kind of give it a little bit more of that glow and that slip, because when it does set down, it has that matte finish. If you like Chanel and you're wanting a piece of Chanel beauty this year, I think this is definitely a foundation to get. The luxury packaging, of course, kills. This is glass packaging, also very heavy in the hand. This does offer the skincare ingredients of the Sublimage skincare line as well, so it has that added benefit. This one is hella expensive, so just make sure you get a sample. Make sure you match yourself really well, because you don't want to mess this one up. I think it's over $200 Canadian, so a lovely one. Just make sure you do a test. You always want to invest your money wisely, and this one is definitely a favorite this year. Now, I actually don't have any new concealers for 2020, so let me know down below if you have a concealer favorite that you either discovered this year or that was released this year. For some reason, I don't have a favorite, so really strange. I guess I've just been loving my other ones from previous years. So moving on to pressed powders. Okay, this is one that I have to sparingly use because it too is scented. So this is the stunning Gucci pressed powder. Can you guys see how beautiful that is? It's a gorgeous soft pink with that gold detailing. I literally can't get over this. I think their beauty line, they did have a beauty line previous, but they refreshed everything this year and it looks so gorgeous. Like, this is so girly, right up my alley. I love that it's refillable. And I love that this is a stunning powder. So this is a pressed one. Typically for myself, I find I'm grabbing a pressed powder over a loose one. That's just my preference. You can smell the perfume right off of it. The good thing is that it doesn't waft off of your skin all day, but when you apply it, you can definitely smell it. It's quite floral. The shade that I have in this is called number 4. So it's a matte natural foundation, but I don't know, it's a slight matte. It's not something super matte. I mean, the gold detailing, check out the back, you guys. Ooh, it's like an optical illusion. Definitely obsessed with this one. While we are on the topic of Gucci, they also released a bronzer. Now, if you thought the powder packaging was beautiful, what do you think of the bronzer? It's so gorgeous. I mean, I love gold. Gold is one of my favorites. I also love rose gold. It's just so good. So good job to Gucci. I love this blue. It's very summer-like. And of course, bronzer makes sense. So it's very good packaging. Has a very similar scent. It's just slightly different, but it's still pretty floral. And we do have the inside here with that same beautiful pattern on the outside of the package. So this shade is number 1. I think when I did buy this initially, I purchased number 2 or 3. I can't quite remember. I think it might have been 2. So I'm glad that I got this shade instead. This is number 1 because it just works better for my skin, which is normally more of a fair complexion. And then it has a little brush, which I haven't touched because I just use my other bronzer brushes, but very stunning. If you love luxury like me and you just love the gorgeous packaging, Gucci kills it every time. Now let's talk about my last bronzer favorite that was released in 2020. This comes from my girl Charlotte Tilbury, and this is the Airbrush Flawless Bronzer. The shade that I have is number 2 because actually in this line, shade number 1 is quite fair. So I found number 2 to be the best spot for me. And this one is also refillable. So I love that brands are starting to do this more. I just think that's great for repurchasing. You don't have to buy the whole thing and it does reduce waste. So I really love that. I just love this one. It definitely is a glowy bronzer. So unlike the Gucci one still has a slight glow, but it's a little bit more matte. This one is also considered a matte bronzer, but it's more glowy than matte, I would say. So if you want more glowy, this is probably your preferred. And I do think that this one blends slightly better than the Gucci, but I love how both of them look on the skin. This one also doesn't have a scent. So if you are scent aversive, you would probably like this one a little bit better, but both are fantastic products. Now, I want to talk about about a blush favorite this year. Now, I do have some face palettes to talk about. This isn't the only blush favorite, but this is a very surprising favorite because this year I really rediscovered cream products, especially cream bronzers, cream blushes, cream highlight. This blush blew me away, and this is from Rare Beauty. This is the Soft Pinch Liquid Blush in Bliss. Now, Bliss is a stunning, stunning shade. I can't get over how beautiful it looks. This is one of her matte blushes. She also has other finishes in the liquid line, but this is my first love. It is absolutely stunning. You guys can see that color is true to color also when you apply it to the skin, and it just blends out so well. It's like a natural flush on the skin, nothing too poppy, bright or anything. It's just like this beautiful neutral pink. It has to be a good cream product for me to pick up. So you gotta know this one is one of the good ones. Now let's talk about highlighters next. I did test quite a few of them, but these two are the best ever for this year. So the first one is the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude Glow. This came out when Mini Zendo came out as well, closer to the end of the year, but the inside looks so pretty. It has a really gorgeous pattern on the powder there, different dimensions to the powder to bring it all together and look so, so beautiful. So it is the highlight I'm wearing today. I really, really love how golden this one is. It's kind of like a champagne gold with a little bit more gold to it. It's not super, super light, but it does have enough of that deepness to make it a little bit different than some of the other highlights you see. Definitely a little bit better than the Charlotte one. Charlotte also released a really big highlight, which I do like, but I am pulling this one a little bit more, which is why I've included this one in my all-time faves this year. The last highlighter favorite of 2020 is actually these Dior Quads. Now I picked up my favorite one because I do have all of them, and I do have a video reviewing all of them if you're interested. There's also pure gold and copper gold in this year's releases, but this one is definitely my favorite. I feel like I've been grabbing this one so much. I just think it's really girly and pastel-y, very different finishes in this. We have some really smooth, almost glitter topper highlights that are really more for like a special occasion. And then we have some really nice pink ones that are a little bit more everyday friendly. You can also top your blush with these. I think that they're very versatile palettes. It just has taken my breath away. I do love the other two, like I mentioned, but this is one that I think is just really unique. There's metallic finishes, there's sheer finishes. So this is definitely a fave this year. And this is now the third year that Dior has released these backstage quads of highlights. I really hope they continue them because they're some of my favorite products that I always look forward to. Now let's talk about face palettes. We do have two favorites from this year, and if you can guess, you probably already know which ones those are, and they are the Hourglass releases. The first one is the Hourglass Sculpture 6-pan. You can see it's ultra reflective gold packaging. It's just bouncing right off of my lights onto my desk. This is a gorgeous collection this year. They do release these collections every year, year over year. This is another one that I look forward to every year to review for you guys and to also collect because I collect them. I love these so much. They usually include 2 setting powders that are bestsellers, and then they also have a mix of new shades and old best-selling shades as well. So the one thing that I like about these is that they're a really nice collector's gift. If you love Hourglass, you love that glowy, sheeny, beautiful skin-like, natural-looking base products. I love this brand for that. They don't compromise quality on their holiday releases, which I really, really love. So this is the first face palette favorite because once again, Hourglass did not disappoint. I just love all of the shades they've put together, and I think that they work together so beautifully on the skin. The last face palette of 2020 favorites is also from Hourglass, and this is actually a re-release. This was from the Unlocked palette from last year. That was a 6-pan palette from last year's holiday, and Hourglass ended up re-releasing those shades and making it into a quad this year. The shades are exactly the same if you do have the 6-pan from last year. This palette offers some deeper shades, which really expands the range of skin tones that can use and enjoy this. So this I think is a gorgeous palette, and the fact that they re-released it this year makes total sense. It's by popular demand. The Unlocked 6-pan was a limited edition and it was gone so fast. So they re-released it with the Sculpture collection, and I'm so glad they did because these shades are to die for. Okay, we are officially on on eyeshadow, and the first eyeshadow palette I want to mention this year that is a best of 2020 is actually not so much a high-end and luxury price point, but it is an honorable mention this year, and this is the Sydney Grace and Mel Thompson Tiny Marvels palette. Now, you guys know I actually really love this palette because this is the first time I was able to experience Sydney Grace. Sydney Grace is an indie brand and it's out of the United States, and normally it is pretty hard to get some of their products up in Canada because the duties are pretty insane as far as I understand. Let me know your thoughts, but this collaboration with my friend Mel Thompson, so amazing, and she did such a great job with this. I love the pastels in here. I love the shimmers. There's a duochrome on the top that I think is great. I've been blown away by this, and the fact that Mel was able to help be a part of this was just the cherry on top because she's also a very talented makeup artist, and I was very excited to support her in this launch. The quality is so lovely too. So this was a lovely one. It challenged me a little bit with bright pastel colors because I like to stay in my comfort zone of pinks and browns and golds, and you know, I don't go too bold too often, but this one is great because it challenged me and the quality is amazing. Now let's talk about the palette that is on my eyes. This is the first high-end favorite from 2020, and I keep getting questions about this, you guys. So once I know when this palette comes back, I promise I will let you know, but right now I don't know anything. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Luxury Eye Palette in Fire Rose. This is definitely a standout favorite, both with Charlotte Tilbury's line, but also for this year. The formulation of this is bar none the creamiest I've ever seen from her. I love the outer packaging of this. She did a great job with that front cover of her quad. I absolutely love the metallics in here. The pop shade is very different. It's new for her. It's more of a heavier texture, but it just glides on the lid. And it is the eyeshadow that I'm wearing today, but I just didn't use the enhanced shade for my lids. You can use this for more of a dramatic look as well if you add that enhanced shade on the top right corner. Knowing Charlotte, this has been such a hit that I'm hoping she brings it back. This is such a high-end favorite of this year. It blew me away. Now this is a brand new fave that definitely made my best of 2020. I did just do a video on this yesterday, I think, by the time this is posted, but I did receive these in PR and I was able to play with them for quite a while. So very thankful to Charlotte Tilbury for sending these over to me. This is the new Hollywood Flawless Eye Filter in the shade Star Aura. You know what it kind of reminds me of? It's like Pillow Talk's little sister with an addition of some browns. I just love how everyday glamorous it is. It's very easy to pull this off. It actually has more of a depth in color than you would think. So go check out my review for that if you haven't seen it. This quad also features a lot of metallics and a really nice shimmer shade. It doesn't have any mattes or a true pop shade like the Fire Rose did, but it is just that simple glam, slightly soft metallics in here. Just stunning. I reviewed a lot of Charlotte Tilbury this year, so I really had to narrow down my best of 2020. I didn't just want to like list everything I've ever reviewed. So this is definitely the faves, the ultimate faves of this brand this year. This last one from Charlotte I think is also one that is really noteworthy for this year, and that is the Bejeweled Eyes to Hypnotize. This is the holiday palette. It also has that versatility of using some of these metallics wet, and they really pop when you wear them wet as well. But this is also a color story that I think a lot of people can grab for day to night really easily. The fact that there's pink in there is no surprise, but I really do love the purple trio as well. And she actually puts these palettes together in trios so you can easily make looks with them. So this palette is stunning. She also releases a holiday palette every year, and this is another part of her line that I look forward to year over year. Definitely a lovely palette this year. One of my standout faves as well. The next brand I want to talk about for eyeshadow faves of 2020 is Mcgrath Labs. This is a brand that I have been very careful with which products to pick up because not all of the color stories have always appealed to me. She's done a great job with her palettes this year, but there's three that I think take the cake. So we're going to talk about the quad first, and the quad that I think is the absolute best one of this year is the Celestial Divinity Luxe Quad in Interstellar Icon. I love this. Like, I'm obsessed. I think it's so pretty. The blue really stands out, and I love the fact that this quad is very dramatic. This is the one that I've been wearing the most. I just think that this one is great. This shade right here really surprised me. It's a really nice, gorgeous, like gray black. beautiful shimmer quality. The fallout is minimal, and I don't know, I think that she's done a great job with this one. This one too, interestingly enough, has been made in the US. A lot of her palettes are made in Italy, so she did change it up a little bit this year. It's not quite the same finishes as the 10 pan Mothership palettes, but they're right up there. They're just as good as in quality, and I love that. So the color story of this, so good. Now let's talk about this palette from Pat McGrath. This is the one that I didn't think I would love as much as I do. I'm gonna be totally honest with you, but I really love this one. This is her holiday palette. This is the Mothership Mega Celestial Divinity palette. You can see here that the packaging is cardboard, and I'm a packaging girl. I love packaging. Pat McGrath kills it with her lacquer packaging, and this I was like, it's okay, but she compromised on packaging to give us so many shades. They're all super gorgeous, colorful shades. The quality as well, really nice. There are so many shades in here. If she had the lacquer packaging too, it would easily be over $200. There are 2 Star Wars 6 pans in here, as well as 6 new shades, so she did a great job with putting this one together. Now the last Pat McGrath standout palette that I'm going to talk about in today's video that I think is the best of 2020 is actually earlier in 2020. It was closer to the spring, I think. Oh, I'm trying to remember specifically, but it was definitely earlier on this year that she released Divine Rose 2. Now, this packaging style is also one I still get a ton of questions about because it's a gorgeous pink packaging. This is a limited edition launch for the release of Divine Rose 2, and you can no longer get this pink packaging. This is palette number 2 in her Divine Rose collection. She released Divine Rose 1 last year, and Divine Rose 2 is definitely more bold. There's a duochrome right here that's really beautiful, and then we also have a really bold pop of pink here. We have the Blitz Astral shades in here, which are her beautiful special shades. They are stunning in this palette. This palette also works together with Divine Rose if you want to amp it up a little bit, but it cohesively works well together too. So this is definitely a fave this year. I love the color story. Obviously pinks really draw me, as well as peaches and golds, so this was definitely up my alley. The packaging is stunning. Oh, you can see everything on my desk. Okay. Ultra reflective as well. Now let's talk about Natasha Denona and my favorites from 2020. I was also able to review a lot of her brand this year, so thank you so much for watching all of my Natasha Denona reviews. Now one of my favorites from her has got to be this one. This is the Natasha Denona Glam Palette. You can see here the cool tone silver packaging, very reflective as well. This is a midi size too, so she has the large ones, midi, and also mini. Filled with cool tones, this is a beautiful palette that I have been very happy with. I love how cool tones look on my brown eyes, and I was such a warm toned gal for such a long time. I didn't realize that cool tones can look so stunning too. It's very cohesive together. Instead of shade names here, she's actually placed names of where you can put them. So some of the shades say center eyelid, some of them say outer eyelid. She doesn't do this with every palette, but it's definitely something that is very helpful for those of us that have trouble putting looks together. She did a great job guiding us, and this is definitely worth the money. The shimmers are fantastic and the mattes are really creamy in this one, so I'm obsessed with it. I think it's a nice one, that's for sure. The next midi palette that has been a favorite this year, and this is one that I really grabbed this summer, this is the Natasha Denona Bronze palette. Once again, same size as the Glam palette and the same type of packaging style with a very reflective outer packaging case. Here is the gorgeous color story. The biggest complaint about this one when I was doing reviews and I was watching other people's reviews on this earlier on in the year was the lack of diversity between shades. Although I would argue that that is true, these are shades that I wear so much that I actually don't even really care about that. So if you are someone that wants a palette that has a little bit like larger gaps between shade colors, for instance, then maybe this isn't going to be for you. This is one that actually has shade names instead of where to put them, so it is a little bit different from Glam that way. This is also a stunning palette, and back in the summer months I was wearing this so much. You'll love this one. Now I have to talk about the last 2 Natasha Denona palettes that have really blown me away, and they are both mini size. These 2 are fantastic. So I put both of them together because I feel like they kind of have similar vibes. if you will, and I love them so much that I couldn't decide between them. So in my left hand or your right side is the Mini Retro palette. This is one that I think has more spring vibes. It is really beautiful with the pinks and that gorgeous silver blue, and I think that matte in the center is so different. It just anchors this palette differently and gives you more of that depth if you want. But the second one is Mini Zendo, which came out this holiday season. I would say this one is kind of like Mini Retro, but a little bit more mature, a little bit more dramatic. I feel like because both of them have like a silvery blue and a pink, that I kind of was reminded of both of them. Most importantly, the mattes and shimmers are consistently amazing quality. So also a lovely palette this year. Those are my Natasha Denona eyeshadow favorites of 2020. Next, we are going on to my mascara favorites. I do have two clear favorites this year. The first one is the Marc Jacobs At Lashed mascara. Is this packaging not super stunning? It's like Great Gatsby kind of vibes, really nice with that gold and that black. And this is one that really does a great job of giving you nice bold lashes, of separating the lash, lengthening and thickening without clumping. The wand is nice and fluffy, and I use this one a lot and always seem to go back to it. So this is also a lovely mascara if you want more of a wider bristle, one that's a little bit longer, and one that can really lift the lashes and just really open up the eyes. My second mascara favorite comes from Hourglass, and the reason why they're so different is because this is actually a tubing mascara. When I talked about this in my video, I feel like I was just having an off day because I said the entire video I was talking about this, I was like, this is a tubular mascara. It's like a tubular, it's tubular. And then when I was editing, I was like, that sounds wrong, but I don't know the right word. It's tubing, not tubular. I've now learned to work with this at its optimal level, and it's totally become a favorite. The bristles on this one is actually more of a short and stubbier bristled wand. The At Lashed one separates too, but this one with the shorter bristles can really separate and really fan them out. So I love that both of them are such opaque black mascaras, but if you're wanting one that's not tubing, the At Lashed one is amazing, but a tubing one, if that's more your style, the Hourglass Instant Extensions one is a favorite this year. I do have one eyeliner favorite, and this is going to be another honorable mention because this isn't a high-end price point, but I did want to include it because it is a new favorite from 2020, and that is the Lauren Conrad Beauty eyeliner. This is in the shade Onyx, I think. Yes. Onyx, there we go. This is a liquid liner. Liquid liners are kind of like my best friends. I love them and use them way more than kohl liners or pencil liners of any kind. So it does rival my favorite of all time, which is the Stila eyeliner. This is one that is very, very close. It's very close with opacity, very nice and black and deep. The Stila one has slightly more flex that it kind of helps really curve around your upper lid really easily, but this one is very close, you guys. So if you're wanting to support Lauren Conrad, I know she was kind of like one of my childhood heroes. I watched The Hills and Laguna Beach all the time. This is an eyeliner favorite this year, the only eyeliner favorite, but it does come from Lauren Conrad Beauty, so I figured I would mention it. Now we're getting on to lip products, and I do not have a lip liner favorite. I did end up trying a couple lip liners this year, and because I'm not really a lip liner kind of person, I don't grab them too much, and I just think that they're good. I don't think that they blow me away enough to pick up a lip liner and use. So no faves that were released this year, so let's get right on into lipsticks. My first lipstick favorite from 2020 is actually a brand new brand that I believe released for the first time this year, if I'm not mistaken. I think this was also another rebranding situation, but let me know down below if you know for sure. This year I discovered the Hermes Lipsticks, and you guys, this has got to be one of the most luxurious brands I think I've ever heard of. I am currently saving up so much money to try to buy my dream bag in the next couple of years or so, but this is the Hermes lipstick, and I actually love both finishes. So this is the Rouge Hermes Satin lipstick. I have a matte lipstick one, and then I have two satin finishes. So this is one of my favorite shades. It is Beige Kalahari. You can see how stunning that is. It's also a satin finish. This is a beautiful everyday wearable lipstick that I absolutely love. I love that it also has the Hermes touch on the actual bullet itself. It says Hermes and it's been engraved into the lipstick lipstick. So this is super exciting. This is also one that is a refillable packaging, which I love. There's a coin on the top of the lipstick case that says H, which is their emblem. It's so luxurious, you guys. So these are definitely my favorites, and I'm so glad I discovered them this year. They're definitely a little bit more pricey because they are a luxury brand, but I think they kill it with the lipstick comfortability, the pigmentation. It's so beautiful on the lips. It's just nice and pigmented. The satin finish is so comfortable to wear. And I also love the matte finish, and the shade that I have is Rose Boise, I think is how you say it. My French is not great, so do apologize for that. But this is a really beautiful matte lipstick too. It's definitely got that rose kind of berry quality. It's just so comfortable. And like I said earlier in this video, normally I don't really gravitate towards matte foundations, matte, like overly matte powders or overly matte lipsticks. But this year I have found such a comfortable matte in the Hermes formulation. I just think it's so, so good. Now, Wayne Goss released his lip collection this year as well, and one of the standout favorites is definitely his lipstick line. This is the Wayne Goss Luxury Cream Lipstick in the shade Lily. It really is that beautiful everyday wearable pink. This one is a creamy consistency as well, and I think it's more of a flexible lipstick because you can keep it a little bit more sheer. It is still fairly pigmented, but you can keep it a little bit more sheer, or you can really build it up for maximum opacity on the lips there. Definitely a hit from Wayne Goss's line for me and for this year. Now let's talk about the lipstick I'm wearing today, and this is actually going to be a, I guess, goal for 2021 is to discover some more shades from this line. I thought for sure that I had more Gucci lipsticks than this one, but this is the only Gucci lipstick I have in my collection. You can see this gorgeous outer packaging. It has a lot of similar vibes to the compacts that we talked about earlier in this video. This is also their satin finish. This is the Gucci Rouge à Lèvres Satin in the shade Blaze of Noon. And this one too, just like the Hermes lipstick, it has Gucci engraved into the lipstick itself. This is the lipstick, like I said, I'm wearing today. It's so easy to wear. It's so creamy, so comfortable, very buildable as well. Has decent staying power for such a creamy lipstick also. Slight weightiness in the hand. I think they did a great job with their beauty line this year, but the lipsticks and the compacts, wow, you guys, they're definitely standout faves. The last lipsticks I want to talk about that are my favorite from 2020 releases are the Victoria Beckham Posh lipsticks. If you guys were ever fans of the Spice Girls, I think that this will make you so happy. So this is one line that is, I would say, more so nudie with like little bits of pinks and purples. I have quite a few shades, as you can see. I have 4. I have Sway, I have Pout, Pose, and I also have Girl. These have a really cool like roll up feature, so you can roll them up from the base. They have Victoria Beckham or VB on the direct tip, and they're a little bit skinnier than your normal bullet lipstick. I love this. I love the packaging. It's got like a nice shine to it. It's black, it's sleek. My favorite shade I would say is Sway, but all of them come really close, you guys, because they're all so wearable, so everyday friendly, so easy to pull out and just grab. I actually can't wait to try out more of her line because I haven't tried anything else, I don't think, except for her Estee Lauder collaboration, which happened quite a few years ago. Now let's talk about lip gloss. The first one is actually fairly recent, and this has become a quick favorite as well that I had to put it in my best of 2020. This is the Fenty Beauty Cream Gloss Bombs. These are really new, actually, within the last month or so, and this is the shade Fenty Glow. This is one that is definitely a little bit creamier, hence the name cream, than your typical gloss bomb, and it's also a little bit thicker as well. With a lot of shine to it, it really plumps up the lips because of how much light it draws to the lips. It's not a physical plumping lipstick by any means, like, you know, the Too Faced tingling ones and things like that. Because of how juicy it makes the lips look, it almost attracts light so much that it looks like and appears like you have a fuller lip. Pigmentation is great with these, and I love them. I've been grabbing this quite a bit. My second lip gloss favorite of 2020 actually comes from Wayne Goss also. This is the High Shine Gloss in the shade Cherry Blossom. It actually goes really well with Lily, and I do wear them together quite a bit. But this is one that is really, really nice as well. It has a really nice minty scent. I really love this one because it's not sticky. It's really nice and buildable. You can really keep it more sheer. You can build it up a little bit. And this one really surprised me from his line as well. So definitely had to include it in the year-end favorites. And I'm definitely definitely excited to see what other lip products he comes out with. A new brand that I discovered this year, and one of my favorites that I'm excited to try more from, is Tower 28. And these two lip glosses, you guys, I'm obsessed. You need to try this lip gloss formula out if you haven't already. These are the Shine On Lip Jellies. I have two shades. One is Oat and one is Coconut. Coconut is a really beautiful everyday wearable shade, as is Oat. But Oat is definitely more pale. You can see more pale pink. This one is a little bit brighter pink, but both of them are super, super lovely. The wand on these is more of a flatter doe foot, and they do have a really nice candy scent. It's almost like caramel toffee, kind of, so it's much more sweet compared to the Wayne Goss one that was minty. This is also one that I picked up towards the end of the year, I think in my VIB sale haul, and I'm so happy because a lot of you guys recommended these to me, and I have been obsessed with them ever since. We are on to the last category, and that is setting sprays. I do have two favorites that I discovered this year. The first one comes from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. This is actually the mini version of this, and this one really blew me away also. This was a highly recommended setting spray from you guys. I could not hear the end of it from you about how amazing this is. This one is so refreshing and gives such a nice glow to the skin. It really preserves my makeup also. Like, I feel like I notice definitely a little bit of a difference when I don't use it compared to when I do. When I prime the skin and put my foundation on with it, because you can prime as well, I don't notice that much of a difference, but I notice the biggest difference with longevity and how my makeup looks when I set and when I refresh versus when I prime my skin. Either way, this is definitely a favorite this year, thanks to you guys for helping me discover it because I love it. Now, for those of you guys that want a fragrance-free setting spray as well, this one is great. This is my last favorite of 2020, and this is the Hourglass Veil Setting Spray. So this one has a matte white base, which is beautiful, and a black cap. It is an aerosol. This is one that is scent-free, and I know that a lot of you guys are kind of thinking about fragrance and how much fragrance is in your products lately. I know I am doing that a lot lately. So this is a great fragrance-free one if you're interested, and this was also released this year. This one also does a great job of refreshing the skin too if you want to just refresh your makeup, make it look a little bit more hydrated and like it was freshly put on. So I do see a difference when I use either of these. I think the Charlotte one offers a little bit more of a glow, whereas this one is just kind of like a natural finish. Both of them I recommend picking up if you guys are interested in a new setting spray. Thank you once again to Allie for collaborating with me on today's video. I am so excited to be holding a giveaway with her as well. So do make sure that you leave a comment in the comment section. Go subscribe to her, leave a comment there as well. And don't forget to include an IG handle or your email so I can get a hold of you. We're very happy to give back, and thank you so much for supporting both of us all throughout the year of 2020. We are so grateful. Please let me know what are your favorite 2020 high-end products and which ones should I check out for the next year. Do let me know all of your thoughts. Until my next one, guys, take care and we'll chat soon. Bye, guys.
You and me, everything that we've been through has made us strong. You won't believe we've had our gray, but somewhere there's a light inside of us. It shows the